Oh. Clark says, no, I'm not getting up yet.
This is part of the bloopers. Oh, dear Lord.
You're supposed to get up.
Clark, come on. Yeah, come on.
Come on. Let's get up.
Come on.
Come on, Clark. Get up.
There you go. There, get.
Come on. Let's go. How'd I do?
You stayed on top.
Listen, it's better than a water buffalo, right? We're at the Great Florida Cattle Drive.
This is an amazing opportunity.
The Great Florida Cattle Drive. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world. Thank you for joining us this week on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
We have a great show lineup for you. We're going to have Dr. Adam Kayot joining us in just a minute to talk about issues that horses have in cold weather. We certainly have had quite a bit of that, I think.
A little more than cold weather.
It's been freezing, yeah, especially if you were in a tent for 6 nights.
You signed up for it,
I
not me.
did, and I loved it. We also have Lauren Carpenter here with us in the studio. We're going to talk a little bit about Voices of Change Animal League and also the upcoming Furball, which is a great way that you can support them. We also have interviews with cow boss Travis Brown and cow hunter Jack Gillen. A little bit of a summary of my trip to the Great Florida Cattle Drive, plus, of course, our closing segment with all your tips of the week and special event mentions. We're going to take it now to Dr. Adam Kayot. Here he is. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative. I am here at HITS, or Horse Shows in the Sun, and we are visiting Dr. Adam Kayot at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. They have a location here for the season, which is incredible. Dr. Kayot is on hand to help with any emergencies or even any routine concerns that you might have. But some of the things, Dr. Kayot, that we face during this strange weather for Florida, I didn't used to be cold here in the winter when I first moved to Florida. Now I'm several layers when it gets down a little bit cooler, like a big chicken. But it certainly is strange and different for Florida for us to have this extremely cold weather. Not so much in January, obviously we do have it, but the rapid down to the 30s, and then we go back up to this beautiful sunny weather, which is certainly different for horses. And we've got horses coming in during show season like this from all different parts of the country where the weather is different. So lots of strange changes for horses and even for the local horses here. So share with us some of the things that you tend to see at this time of year and have to address.
Well, the most common thing that you see is going from summer, autumn grasses and things that horses eat to winter diet, right? So you have less grass that's being consumed, or the grass that's being consumed certainly is not as moist and doesn't have the water content that, and might even be brown and somewhat just dormant. And then you start feeding a lot of hay this time of year, and those all present challenges, because what typically happens is that as the weather cools down, horses don't drink as much. They start being fed a drier feed stuff. And so that leads to an excess dryness of their feed, which predisposes them to issues of colic. Colic is, the main thing that we see during the cold weather months. And a lot of that has to do with, one, horses drink less because, sometimes they're prima donnas and they don't want to stick their noses in cold water, which happens all the time. So they don't drink as much. Obviously, they aren't as expending as much sweating and that sort of thing. So they aren't going through fluid or losing fluids from their body as much. But then on top of that, you're fed drier feed stuff. So as that dries out, then it's more likely to become impacted and will, impaction colics are synonymous with cold weather. Typically, those aren't your necessarily violent colics, and a lot of times they're not surgical colics. You can treat them medically and they do fine, but the horse that has those sorts of things are, you'll see them laying down more than normal. They'll just seem kind of blah, won't necessarily run a fever, but they'll just seem kind of not doing right kind of thing. And so really, really typical to see. And down here, I mean, a lot of horses that are here during this time of year have been body clipped for shows, so they don't have their long winter coats, and they will get cold, and they'll, you can see them shiver and that sort of thing, because I've had calls in the past and my horse is out there shaking, and I've never seen him do that before. Well, they're cold and they're shivering, and when it gets wet and rains, and it's they say it's supposed to be tonight and tomorrow, in the 40s, and they get wet, then they tend to have a tendency to get really cold. So, make sure you have your blankets and that sort of thing, and try to keep them warm. And but those are the typical things that we see. Certainly, when you're inside more, you might not be turned out as much because of the cold. Horses are concentrated in an area in the stable. They're more likely to share bugs between each one another. You might tend to see more coughs, more coughing, and that sort of thing that ends up happening. So those sorts of things are things that are very common to see.
And what we tend to try to recommend to people is, if you're, and I think Pete and I mentioned this on the last show, if your horse is not used to having a lot of hay, and you're thinking, I'm being so kind, doubling the hay for the horse because it's cold, right. And obviously eating the hay does warm the body up, so that is a good thing, but we never recommend doubling hay or increasing hay rapidly, only introducing it slowly, and certainly not going and dumping a new bale of coastal out in the middle of your field that the horses aren't used to eating, and you think, oh, I'm helping them keep warm, but they've already decreased in the amount of water that they're drinking, and now you're giving a lot more dry hay, as you mentioned, and that can cause a bad situation. So introducing everything gradually is really important. And something you've mentioned in prior interviews is increasing the salt in the feed to help make them thirstier.
Stimulate them to drink.
Because that will help them keep drinking when they don't feel like it. And then obviously if you're up north, making sure you don't have frozen water troughs is important, right? That's
all that stuff.
That's a big thing. And then also, one of the things I always recommend to people is keep your water source as clean as possible, because you don't want a horse to have any excuse not to drink. Right. You want it to be as appealing as possible to the horse. Sure. So I think that really helps. And even adding some warm water in a trough can help horses if they're like, it's too cold for me.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, when I lived in Ohio, we did that all the time. Number one, it kept it from freezing, so you don't have to go out and smash it 3 times a day. And and then it being warmer, they're more likely to drink it. But anytime you change your or have a feeding plan for your horse, you should do it gradually. I mean, a lot and still a lot of times, the most common thing that occurs before I see a horse for an impaction colic is, we just got a brand new round bale and we put it out there, and they love it. And you'll have the pigs out there that just stick their head that stick their head in the round bale and barely come up for air, and they eat it all day long. 3 days later, they're colicking. Yeah. So you always want to do that gradually, and you want to introduce that sort of thing gradually, even if they've been on whatever feed stuff's in that round bale, if they've been on coastal or whatever it is. Previously, they typically don't have it free choice, and so you need to be aware of that.
Yeah, those all make sense. All great tips for this cooler weather that we're having, but it certainly is my favorite weather today. This is gorgeous. We've got blue skies and lovely temps today, so we're grateful for that. Thank you, Dr. Kayot.
You're welcome.
Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative with Dr. Adam Kayot. Brr, it's been chilly, especially in a tent. Pete, you don't like cold weather, do you?
No, ma'am.
You might not have liked it at the Great Florida Cattle Drive.
No, I would not have liked it.
It's the first time I ever saw ice inside my tent. We are going to break and coming back in just a few minutes with Lauren Carpenter, and we are going to talk about Vocal, all the good work that they do, and the upcoming Furball. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honouring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
Hello, I'm Pat Myers, owner of Pat Myers Electric, a family-owned and operated business. My wife Sarah and I are horse owners ourselves and know what matters most to a farm owner, with the safety of their horses being of utmost importance to us. Pat Myers Electric can light up your arena and make sure your horse's barn is safe and protected. Pat Myers Electric is the horseman's choice. Discover more at patmyerselectric.com.
Veteran-owned Wide Automotive, that's W-E-I-D-E, is a beacon of automotive excellence in Ocala. Founded on integrity and expertise with unwavering dedication in all operations, we seek to forge lasting relationships with our clients. Whether you have one vehicle or a fleet, we pledge our best effort and quality service. From repairs, diagnostics, tire repair and replacement, diesel engine work, horse trailers, car batteries, wheel alignments, fuel systems, and more. Discover more at wideautomotive.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have Lauren Carpenter back with us again this year from Vocal.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us again.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Tell our listeners and viewers what Vocal stands for.
So Vocal stands for Voices of Change Animal League. We are a 501c3 animal nonprofit here in Marion County. This is our 11th year here in Marion County. It is.
Oh my gosh, don't say that.
Yeah.
I remember you starting.
I
feels
know.
like just yesterday.
It does. It does. But we've grown a lot in 11 years, and our mission is to solve the homeless pet problem in our community. We do that through prevention. We have a nonprofit veterinary clinic where we focus on high volume, low cost spay and neuter, making that available to the public. We have an adoption and foster program, and we also have a pet food bank. So for us, our big thing is making sure we can meet the needs of our community and helping our community keep their pets healthy and at home.
That's so wonderful. And quick shout out for Lucy, who is one of my dogs, one of my three.
Yes, the best.
Yes, and this is actually her at Ocala Dog Ranch while I was away, because Neil always sends me pictures when I'm gone so that I don't miss them quite so much. But dear Lucy, she is so sweet, and I adopted her from you, I don't know how many years ago. It must be at least 3.
I was going to say 3 or 4.
Yes.
Yeah, the time has passed. But yes, no, she's wonderful.
She is a lovely dog. She's beautiful and happy. And
it's the important part.
Yes, and
that's
very
what we
healthy, you know,
Yes.
as far as like when I came, you know, to adopt her, she was in a great environment with you guys and well looked after, and had like big runs to run up and down and
Yes.
race up and down, and just really enjoying life. So, I mean, they're in a great place with you, and
thank
it's a
you.
no-kill shelter.
Yes, yeah, and you know, our shelter is something that is a little bit unique. We moved into that facility 10 years ago, and previously it was a greyhound breeding facility, so we've been able to take something that started as maybe not so positive and really turn it into a really great place for the community and the animals that are here. So our dogs definitely don't lack in space, and they have plenty of room to exercise while they wait to be adopted.
And then you have cats as well?
We do have cats. Most of our cats are in foster home, but we do have have 2 small cat cabins on our property as well, so we do have cats available.
Wonderful. So throughout the year, obviously you accept donations because that's how 501c3s can keep doing their good work. But upcoming is a very important, and actually seeing that 10th annual, we've said that every week. I'm like, 10th annual means that, yes, you've been around for 11. That's crazy.
Yes, we missed a Furball because of COVID one year, so this is our 10th Furball. But yes, we've been really excited about the event. We started the event when we started Vocal, because our initial goal was to fundraise and open our spay-neuter clinic, so that's what we started the black tie optional dinner for. But once we raised those funds and opened our clinic, we really just felt like it was an important initiative to keep doing each year, to bring the community together, to talk about the importance of supporting the pet owners as well as cats and dogs in Marion County, and how they can do that through our programs. So this year's Furball is Boots, Black Tie, and Best Friends, so we change up our theme each year, and we're excited to put a little Western spin on that. So Pete, if you're coming, your hat is going to be perfect. Yes.
I've been before and my hat was perfect.
That's true. That's true. Yes, but it'll really fit the theme.
In.
It'll fit the theme this year, and I know people are excited, to change up their dress a little bit. So add in some bolos, some fun jewelry, boots, and really feel like we're in Marion County.
Yeah, that fits, doesn't it? Yes. And dancing.
That's what I wear all the time.
I know, right? And dancing.
Dancing.
And dancing.
I enjoy that part.
Yeah, you do, and he gets everybody else doing it too, so that's good, right? He gets everybody else involved. Oh, look, I see Pat and Sarah Myers in that picture.
Well, the event has grown so much too over the last several years. So last year we had a record-breaking attendance with like 525 guests. So we're hoping for another great event. To be able to talk to the community about our plans that are upcoming. We do have some growth initiatives in the future where we're looking at some expansion plans on our property and kind of what our next phase is of Vocal to be able to continue to meet the needs of our community.
And so, you guys raise a lot of money for this. This is
a really important event for us. It really is. It supports our programs. It supports, the animals that are coming in and out of the clinic. We do a lot of subsidized surgery for people. It's also supporting the animals that are coming in and out of our rescue. So this is our main fundraiser that we do every year because, again, we are a nonprofit. So it's important for us to have that revenue stream from this event.
It certainly does. And if you have one big one every year, that can help carry you through the times when maybe it is a little bit tighter, because that's a lot to take on. The expense of how many, I'm not sure how many dogs do you average in there at a time?
So our program has really grown this year. We've really amped up our adoptions and our intake. Last year we took in right around 450 animals, and we were able to adopt out just about that many. So we've really grown, but from time to time we're usually averaging between 80 to 100 animals in care.
That's incredible. That's a lot. Yes. I know how much it costs to keep 3.
Exactly. Yes, and usually they don't come with, their own wallets. So it's important that we do have
They're
that
like
support.
Horses.
Yes.
They're very costly, and they don't come with their own fund. No. So you do incredible work. Your adoption process is also very thorough. So that you make sure, right, that the dogs go to good homes.
Yeah,
I remember that
because
process.
For us, we want it to be a good experience for the adopter too. It can be overwhelming to go into a shelter or just go on a website and try to pick out who you're wanting to adopt. So for us, our adoption counselors really know all of our cats and dogs, where they're going to be successful, and we have those conversations with people like, what are you looking for, what's going to fit your lifestyle, and how can we find you the best possible match. So it's for the animals, but it's also for the person because we want that good experience.
I've also heard that you guys are really good for people that have pets that can't afford them, that you'll help them out when they need that help.
Yeah, because for us, our big thing is we want to keep pets in the homes where they're loved and cared for, and sometimes people do hit, a financial speed bump where they need a little bit of assistance. And so we do have that pet food bank program that's actually, a lot of that is through Chewy. We get a lot of donations through them each week, and we're able to supply our pet food pantry, not only with food and litter, but also supplies, if people need crates or other things to help them keep those pets in their home. And same thing with our vet clinic. We do have a Fix the Future fund where we're able to subsidize pet care, whether that be, they need their animals spayed or neutered, so that way they're not reproducing in their home, or they might need some basic vet services. We're able to subsidize those as well.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's incredible. Let's go over the Furball one more time. Let's go dates, location, and how people can get tickets.
Yeah, so it's Friday, February 27th. It starts at 6 o'clock, and the tickets actually are available on our website, so that's vocalforpets.org, and there's a big banner right there where you can purchase tickets. The ticket sales for that does close on February 20th, so we don't have any tickets available at the door, but we're really looking forward to selling more tickets and meeting more people and having people learn about how they can help cats and dogs in Marion County.
And how much are the tickets?
They're $200 a piece.
So if you think about going out for an evening meal, entertainment, a learning experience,
And dancing with me.
and dancing with Pete, with Dancing Pete, and you put all of those together, you can hardly even go out for a really good dinner for that much money. So really, when you think about the cause that it is, and that it is a 501c3 that's doing so much in our community, that is a great price for a wonderful evening. And it's at World Equestrian Centre?
It is. It's at Expo 1. That's
So
where
if you haven't visited World Equestrian Centre, that gives you another opportunity
Yes.
to actually come out and see what an incredible facility that is too. So it's a definite all-round win-win. And then you have some auctions during the
We
event.
do. We have a silent auction, which has become pretty expansive. We do have a lot of wonderful pet items in there for people. So people usually always enjoy coming to see what we have available, because most people that come do have their own cat or dog. So there's great things there for your pets. But we also have other items within that silent auction as well. And then we do have a small live auction this year also.
That's always fun.
Yeah, it is.
Live auctions
It
are
is
always
fun.
You know how much you love those. Those are a good
Yes,
time, aren't
It
they?
is.
Yes, ma'am.
It's fun.
And then your website, vocalforpets.org,
Yep.
is the website, and that is a place that people can research
Yeah, they
more
can-
about you, learn more about
Exactly.
you, see what animals you have for adoption, and then you have plenty for people that can come out and adopt as well as attending the Furball.
Exactly. I'm sure there is something on that website for everyone. So
But there is too.
Yes.
Lauren, thank you.
Oh, no, thank
Lucy's
you.
lovely. I love her dearly.
Tell her
She's
we
a
said
great
hi.
dog. I will.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for you. Thankful for everything that Vocal does in our community. And what does this have to do with horses? Well, as we always say, if you have horses, you probably have dogs. And we love dogs. So there you go.
And even
There's your
cats.
connection. Cats too. Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, no, thank you.
We'll be back. Stay with us. We have Travis Brown, the cow boss, coming up.
Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Centre in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
DAC Vitamins and Minerals has been making a world of difference for 35 years. Do you know what sets DAC apart? We use chelation minerals from Alltech, which allows for better absorption. DAC is the only supplement company Alltech provides ingredients for. We have our nutritionist, Performance Horse Nutrition, NASP, which is the quality seal, which guarantees our products and ensures our use of quality ingredients. DAC gives you a guaranteed analysis in every 1 ounce scoop, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't your partner deserve the best? Visit feeddac.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
D&N Equine Recovery is owned and operated by avid horsemen. With over 75 years of experience in the equine industry, D&N Equine Recovery provides the only whole horse crematorium in the greater Levy-Marion County area, serving all of North Central Florida. All staff are dedicated to demonstrating the utmost respect throughout this emotionally delicate process, providing compassionate and timely service when it matters to horse owners the most. For more information, go to dnequinerecoveryllc.com. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dan St. Pete Rhoda.
And you're about to hear from Travis Brown, the cow boss at the Great Florida Cattle Drive. Here he is.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network here at the Great Florida Cattle Drive, sitting with none other than the cow boss, Travis Brown. I didn't know what a cow boss was before I got here.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you for having me. Like I say, my name's Travis Brown. I'm 50 years old and from Melbourne originally. Been here in Okeechobee since 2008. Got my bachelor's degree in animal science and just been managing large beef herds on large ranches all my life, pretty much. I just grew up wanting to be a cowboy, basically. My parents I didn't grow up in a ranching, or my family didn't have land and cattle. I had a bunch of friends that I grew up with that their families did in Melbourne, the Platts and the Kempfers, and just blessed enough to be friends with them and go help them work cows, and just like every kid's dream. I think every kid's dream, wanting to be a cowboy, and I fell in love with it. It was my passion. So I just that was my goal, and I said, well, that's what I'm going to do. And so I, went to University of Florida, graduated with my bachelor's degree in animal science. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
And but I've worked at Deseret. I've been a foreman there for I was there 6.5 years as a foreman, and largest cow-calf ranch in the United States, has been for the last 15 years. And then Likes Brothers, I think they're number 4 or 5 in the nation. But just, I wanted to do this. I'm the cow boss. Basically, I picked out the route, got with all the landowners, got permission to come across their land, and met with them, and figured out how to drive these cows, because you got to have a plan, right? If you don't, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So got that all worked out, and so that was the hard part, right? Because a lot of these places I haven't necessarily been on, personally. I haven't worked cows on every single one of these ranches. We've been on about 16 different landowners, 16 different properties. But that's the hard part, is navigating all that. The easy part is just managing the cows.
Cows are probably easier than people, right?
Absolutely. And I will say this, so I give all the credit to my cowboys. I'm just the guy up front leading them, right? I'm just holding them down a little bit. It's my cowboys and them that are actually doing all the work, right? They're keeping them bunched, making sure they're following me, making sure they're not wandering off or running off, going squatting, hiding somewhere. So my cowboys, they are the stars of the show, really. So I give them all the credit. And a lot of my crew is family. My daughter who's worked with me most of my life, raised. I was blessed enough to raise my kids and my family on a ranch, and so she's here helping us as one of our cowboys. My son-in-law's with us, my brother-in-law, and then a buddy of mine I used to work with, his daughter, who's same kind of boat, raised on a ranch. Their family has a large ranch in Lake Wales. So it's just kind of neat, the generations of cowboys and just promoting that. We've lost a lot of that because, unfortunately, we've lost a lot of land.
I'm Carlton Moore Jr. I'm a photographer. I focus largely on Florida ranch lands. I founded the Florida Wildlife Corridor Project, which tells the story of how Florida's wild heart is still connected. So you have amazing state parks and national parks and preserves, and you have millions of acres of farms and ranches, and you put them all together, you have an unbroken corridor that can support a 5-day long cattle drive like we're doing this week in the Kissimmee River Valley, or it can support the habitat needs of a bear or a panther or a grasshopper sparrow, all these endangered species that we share the land with. This is the fourth cattle drive I photographed or documented. And it's really awesome to see, particularly this year, because 3 of the ranches that we're crossing or touching this week have been protected by conservation easements in the Florida Wildlife Corridor just in the last 3 or 4 years. And it's amazing to have been part of that journey. And it gives me hope that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you could do this same route and this path will be here, because the state land and all the ranches that are permanently protected now. And so the best thing we can do is keep funding the Florida Forever program, the Rural and Family Lands Protection program, and keep people knowing about this way of life and what it does for the benefit of everybody living on the coast.
I wanted to do this to bring education, promotion, and tell our story. If we don't tell our story, somebody else will, and chances are it's not going to be the truth. So I love communicating and making sure that the truth is out there. We're stewards. We're the original stewards of the land. If we don't take care of the land and the cattle, we'll starve.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Makes sense.
We are the 1% of the nation feeding the other 99%. And so I'd love to see that change. I wish, but if I can't make that change, I at least want that 99% to know where their food comes from and just know that they're getting a safe, wholesome product, the best source of protein there is. And we have fun doing it too. And we take care of the cows and they take care of us.
Travis, absolutely incredible experience. We've had some very, very cold nights. Obviously, we've had some ice inside the tent. It's definitely been roughing it. And I have traveled the globe covering every sort of event that you can think of. And no offense meant to anywhere else I've ever been, but I cannot say that I have had a better 5 or 6 days than here. Meeting some of the most phenomenal people and horses, just being in this camp setting every night and kind of roughing it. And everybody here has been amazing. The team, the staff, the food, it's all been incredible. And we have been so blessed to be here and share this experience. And it's just been, I've had a lot of people say that they're living vicariously and they will not miss the next one. And so we're just very grateful to you for letting us be part of this and sharing this, not just this legacy, but teaching the future generations about the importance of this and these traditions. And I hunt. I'm fortunate enough to go drag hunting with Misty Morning Hounds, and it's one of the most amazing experiences. And that is, again, keeping a tradition alive. And I think that our history matters so much. And if we don't keep doing it, we're going to lose it. And you're making sure that this stays with us.
Absolutely. That this just getting our story out there, educating people. Nobody knows everything, and there's so many different trades and things, so many things I don't know about. The best way to learn is go to the source, and ask them, hey, how does this work? And that's what I wanted to do, is just show everybody what we do. Yes, it's not rocket science, but it's our heritage. It's our passion. Cowboys typically are pretty gritty and pretty hardworking. And, typically we don't like to just talk in front of the camera and be in the limelight, but I've told myself this is just for the kids that we're live streaming to every day and for all the public, just to give them a glimpse of our world and get the truth out there and to share a story.
Well, thank you, sir, for being with us. Thank you for sharing this, and we've had an incredible time.
Thank you for being here to document this and get it out there to the masses.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network at the Great Florida Cattle Drive with the Cow Boss.
Smash Wraps creates business fleet and storefront interior and exterior solutions. Don't just wrap it, smash wrap it. SmashWraps.com.
Hello, I'm Pat Myers, owner of Pat Myers Electric, a family-owned and operated business founded on both trust and integrity. From new installations to repairs and emergencies, Pat Myers Electric's team of professionals can handle it all. Pat Myers Electric, for all your current needs. Discover more at patmyerselectric.com.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. It's time to fight back against summer sores with Kayot's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus, buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store Kayot sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at KWellUSA.com. Kaywell, strength by nature.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. She's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we are now going to take you to a short interview with Jack Gillen, cow hunter, who owns Cracker Horses at the Great Florida Cattle Drive. Here he is.
I'm standing here with Jack Gillen and also with a Florida Cracker Horse. Jack, tell us a little bit about what you do here at Great Florida Cattle Drive, and then we're going to learn a little bit about your horse.
Well, I have been a circle boss 3 times. This time they asked me to get the cattle together, so I've been a real cow hunter and managed to get them all shipped down here. Now they got to ship home and we're done tomorrow. That was my main job this time.
What do you think of this Great Florida Cattle Drive? It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I guess I must like it since I've been on 5 of them now.
And your name is on the scarf, the bandana rather. Yes, so you must be an important guy. Tell us a great...
I just pay like
Tell us a little bit about the breed of horse that you own. The Florida Cracker.
Florida Cracker Horse, similar to the Florida cattle, Cracker cattle. They were direct descendants of the cattle and horses that the Spanish brought to Florida 500 years ago, a little longer than that actually. 1521 the first ones came.
Wow.
And these horses were, a lot of them are small. Now the Spanish had larger horses, but think about coming across the ocean on a ship and a sling. You don't want a big horse. And they didn't want a big horse for traveling, which was what the first ones that came. They were just riding and looking and seeing what was here. And they didn't need to pull a wagon or anything, so they're not real big horses, but they sure have a lot of heart. And I love this one. I raised her from a baby. And her name's Cazadora de la Vaca, which means in Spanish, hunter of the cow.
Hunter of the cow. So are they certain colors typically?
Well, a lot of grays, some blacks, haze, of course. But they come in a variety of other colors. There's one Palomino that we've had. There's some roan horses up in Georgia that are the same. They were approved actually to be in this registry, but they decided to form their own registry. They call them marsh tackies.
Marsh tackies. Yes, I met a marsh tacky. So typically nice, quiet temperament.
Oh yeah.
Hardy horses, right?
Easy to train. This horse has never been to a veterinarian. Never been to a vet except to get bled for Coggins tests. Never had her feet trimmed. 23 years old. That's pretty easy keeper, huh?
That's an easy keeper. Yes, yes. And they seem to be a nice temperament, good horse.
Yeah, they actually like people and like being, handled and messed with. Most of them are pretty easy.
And not that many of them really left, are there?
No, they're not. They're not. I formed a registry back in the 80s. Some of the first people involved with that were Sam Getson and Bob Berry, Bobby Hall. All those fellas are gone now, but we miss them for sure.
Well, they're wonderful. Thank you for sharing them with us this week. It's been lovely to get to know them.
Thank you for interviewing.
Absolutely. Louisa Barton here with Jack Gillen, talking about the beautiful, versatile and hardy breed known as the Florida Cracker Horse. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show.
Jack Gillen, absolutely amazing cow hunter. Had the best time, and I'm going to share a really funny story with you and Pete that he's going to find very amusing. I did a WWPD, what would Pete do, on the Great Florida Cattle Drive. So very kindly, and this is not meant any offense to anybody, very kindly a lady lent me her horse because I have a horse with a fractured hock, and I was going to ride one of Jack Gillen's horses, but it got hurt shortly before the cattle drive. So a very nice lady loaned me her horse, and this horse is a horse that goes out trail riding and is very calm and quiet, and just has to be in the lead. Apparently it's a horse that just has to be in the lead, which of course isn't an option on the cattle drive. So probably wouldn't have worked anyway, but had not been on a cattle drive before, especially not with 350 plus people and horses and all the commotion. So when I actually got to him, he was very wound up and very excited and spinning around in the horse trailer, and I had only just met him the day before very briefly. And when I took him out of the horse trailer and started to saddle him, he was running in circles and throwing the saddle and the pad off. And obviously this is a very different environment to be in. This is not your average everyday 4 or 5 people going on a trail ride. This is a lot for any horse. And if a horse hasn't done it before and isn't seasoned and is then put with a new person, WWPD, what would Pete do? Not get on because it's not the right time. You know, you don't want to be one of the statistics of the ride, you know, where you're the person that's either getting yourself hurt, somebody's horse hurt or loose, or in fact running through a crowd of other people who are also not done this before.
Spreading the cattle like bumblebees.
Yes, exactly. Or the people for that matter. And you've got, you know, new riders on horses they don't know as well at these events. I don't want to be the person to cause the incident. So, you know, that would be very poorly publicized. Louisa Barton from the Horse Talk Show ruined the entire event. So I opted not to ride the horse. Well, I didn't know the routine. I worked with the horse on the ground for a while. Everybody else left and went off on the ride. And so I'm there with the horse trailer. The horse is in the cattle trailer that I think is Jack's cattle trailer, and there's another living quarters trailer there. I asked the gentleman who's about to drive off with the living quarters trailer if I should put my gear in there because that's Jack's trailer. And he says yes. So I bundle a couple £100 of gear, cameras and tripods and everything into this trailer. Off it goes. And then I'm there thinking, what do I do now? There's a horse here. So I called Jack, and Jack says, we'll give it some water because it needs some water. So I get it out, school it, some on the ground, take it for water, put it back in the trailer. And I'm thinking, well, how do I get to the next campsite? So the porta potty people arrived to pick up the porta potties. So Speedy from the porta potty company is really nice. I don't know the coordinates of the next campsite. And they're not addresses, they're coordinates. So Speedy says, don't worry, I'll send you the coordinates. So he sends me the coordinates. And then I called Jack and I said, Jack, should I drive at your trailer? Are the keys here? Should I drive this other trailer over there? He says, yeah, go ahead. The keys are in it. Take my truck and trailer. So the porta potty people offered to give me an escort to the next campsite. So I've never driven a trailer that big in my life, and it's not my truck and trailer. So I'm like, oh, Speedy, I've never driven a trailer this big. And he said, well, did you tell Jack that? I said, no. And he said, listen, we'll give you an escort. We'll put porta potties in front of you and porta potties behind you and you in the middle. You'll be fine.
Wait a minute. You didn't have a police escort. You had a
Not this time.
You had a potty escort.
I had a potty escort. So they take me to the next campsite. I'm a nervous wreck. You know, I'm driving someone else's truck and trailer. This trailer's massive. On roads, 38 miles to the next campsite. So we get to the next campsite, we park, and I work with the horse on the ground, and I unpack all my stuff when it finally arrives and set up water for the horse and walk it to water and hay and everything else. And then I'm interviewing and filming and all this kind of thing and working. They arrive back and there's a gentleman on another cracker horse, and I'm like, well, maybe I could just ride your cracker horse tomorrow. And he's like, because he's leaving, and he's like, yeah, I'll leave the horse here, you can ride my cracker horse. And he said, I'm leaving with my truck and trailer. And I look over and he points at the truck and trailer, and it's the truck and trailer I brought over. It wasn't even
You stole a truck and trailer.
There's more. There's
Oh.
always more, but we have to go to break. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show for more.
Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at seminolefeed.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you very much to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
This right here is my white media bandana from the Great Florida Cattle Drive, and this is my 2026 belt buckle from the Great Florida Cattle Drive. And we are now going to take this segment to take you through everything from camping, setting up, the first night, which was the 25th. And by the way, gale force winds, I'm going to add in there because it was gale force winds. Lots of stuff to drag across the campsite to load up.
What was the temperature with the wind chill?
I think some nights it was in the 20s.
Oh, God.
This was our second campsite, if you're watching. It was very interesting because actually at our campsite was Grady, Michelle Fortner's husband, and her nephew Will, which was really cool. It was a very small world. And I met Rick Moyer, the Cattlemen's Association president, who is a show listener. So I just want to shout out to him because he'll be listening on 97.3 on Saturday morning. I also delivered 200 bottles of Odaway for Piranha. And I am going to tell you right now, the people were so happy. I actually had people come back up to me 3 days later and say, thank you for the Odaway. My hat has never smelled so good. My truck has never smelled so good. My tent has never smelled so good. These, as you're seeing them if you're watching, not listening, are our mess kits that they gave us. Kyle Lawson, shout out to him, who prepared most of our meals all weekend long, and we had some
biscuits and gravy?
Yes, Kyle Lawson, great guy, came all the way from Texas to feed us.
Wow.
Fantastic mess hall that we all got to meet in. And
Was his nickname Cookie?
Should have been, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Great food. We had amazing food all weekend long. It was very outpostish feeling, being out there at these campsites. Every morning we had to pack up at 5 a.m. in the dark, pack up all of our gear, drag it to whatever wagon was taking it, and then get our horse ready and saddle up, make sure our horse was fed, watered, hayed, wash our own dishes in water troughs. Jennifer Shuck, right there. Yeah, we washed dishes together. And then there were barrels to wash off the soap in them. So we had to wash our own dishes, take care of our own horses, get them water, get them hay, get them feed. Fed by Seminole Feed, by the way, the entire week. That was the free water, but it wasn't.
Snake in the cooler.
Yes, free water. Ice on the tents, by the way. Freezing cold, ice on the tents inside and out. Quite the camping experience. Nights by the fire, they would have a fire near the mess hall and have poetry, cowboy poetry, history stories, lots of great entertainment, sing-alongs. They had some musicians who were picking and grinning. The Seminole tribe, who were absolutely wonderful, came and did a speech for us, historical speech. I had no idea the Seminole Indians were so involved in agriculture, in cattle farming, and still are. Seminole Feed was there. Aiden was there from Seminole Feed. She was on the ride with us as well. And the horses ate only Seminole Feed for the entire 6 days. There were several choices. That is Clark, belongs to Rebecca Howell. Clark was great fun to play in the water on the only sub.
You went in the water?
Swam the horse. Yes.
Was it cold?
Freezing.
Yes.
Yes, it was. That's a cracker horse. There, if you're watching, that you can see on the screen in front of you. These people right here, got to leave this up for a minute because these people ended up being my campmates. And if you're watching, you can see Brad on the buckskin. He has his own podcast, Between the Beaches. Grady, Michelle's husband, Michelle Fortner of Sister's Place and Fortner Farms. Steve Howell Jr., who has a hilarious Snapchat, and his daughter, Rebecca, who is the grittiest cowgirl ever. Will, the Fortner's nephew, Jack Gillen, and then wonderful Amy Busby, who I got to know really, really well. And these folks here, these cow hunters, just amazing people who looked after me, the newbie. A shout out to them for...
So for our listeners,
Yes.
What is a cow hunter?
That's the lead group of people that look after the cattle. Okay. They're experienced cattle people.
Because cow hunters, and from where I'm from, were the guys that you call up, the cowboys that call and get cows that nobody can catch.
Yes, well, they do that too.
Okay.
This, if you're watching, not listening, you actually can see a photograph of the most amazing Seminole lady that I met. She spoke to all of the 4th graders in Florida on a live stream and brought a great deal of their local tribe from the reservation there, which is the Brighton Reservation. and they did an amazing dance for us. And Wendy was lovely. She went live to the 4th graders in Florida and talked to them about Seminole traditions, cattle farming. I had no idea that they had such a big Florida history. That was all in the cattle. I had no idea it was them. I mean, they were the ones who made it all happen. So great stories there, and what an amazing experience. Some Odaway in the mule wagon. The one day that the little cracker horse was lame, I rode a long way in a wagon with wonderful Marilyn Whitford and Tom and Ted, her mules. So I actually got to take photographs without the GoPro, because I actually could video and take photos from a better perspective than being on a horse. So it actually turned out to be a blessing, because that was the day that I think I got the best footage that I got. And I'm just going to say there were kids on this cattle drive that were unreal riders, that were managing their horses, that could probably have rounded up the cattle. And it was just incredible to see the families together. I met Libby Pigman, who lives in Okeechobee and actually grew up with Amy Busby, and she was so sweet, hospitable and friendly and welcoming to us. And it was just a incredible experience to see this many people out herding on horses. Herding cats. Yes, exactly, herding cats.
That's what we call it.
Yes, and the whole camping experience, everything from blowing up beds and trying to mash everything down into a very small space so you could transport it from place to place, setting up and taking down your tent every morning and every night at sunset and sun up, was really an incredible, amazing experience. Jackie and Nick Demerick were there. From Demerick Training and Sales, thoroughbred folks. Jennifer Shuck, as you noticed, was there also. And a lot of other people I knew from the parade that we had in downtown. When we rode back into the Cattlemen's Arena in Okeechobee at the end, it was an amazing feeling that we had got these cattle all the way from Yeehaw Junction across 16 farms to arrive at the Cattlemen's Arena to this festival that they had. And watching the dogs, keeping them all tight there in the middle of the arena was just, that was my horse stopping a cow from escaping. Just a really, really wonderful experience. I actually ended up riding a horse I thought belonged to Brad called D-Roy, but it turned out it didn't belong to him. It belonged to his farrier. And Lars and Hay were there at the finish, of course. And very kindly provided me with a hotel room to take a shower in right before the end. So I actually did manage to get a shower, which was nice. I probably smelled better coming in.
Odaway didn't work.
Odaway. I gave it all away, Pete.
Oh, got to keep it for yourself.
Yes. Everybody was so thankful. I'm going to tell you that other than a couple of trips I've been on with my children, camping with horses with my daughter, and a survival camp I went on with my son, it's actually ranks in the top 3 journeys that I've ever gone on in my life. And that's not easy to say. And I can tell you that the day I got back, I would have gone again the very next day.
You're nuts. It's
Maybe.
going to get cold again.
I know. And I would have gone anyway. I had the best time. I met the best people. It was the best experience. And it took me away from all the crazy chaos in the world and brought me back to tradition, legacy, history, and hopefully something that is not just remembered, but that we have for many generations to come. So let's look after Florida. Coming back after this, stay with us on the Horse Talk Show.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars, and we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated treated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
D&N Equine Recovery is owned and operated by avid horsemen. With over 75 years of experience in the equine industry, D&N Equine Recovery provides the only whole horse crematorium in the greater Levy-Marion County area, serving all of north central Florida. All staff are dedicated to demonstrating the utmost respect throughout this emotionally delicate process, providing compassionate and timely service when it matters to horse owners the most. For more information, go to dnequinerecoveryllc.com. It's time to fight back against summer sores with Kaywell's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus, buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store Kaywell sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at kaywellusa.com. Kaywell, strength by nature.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we are going to take it first of all to Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week.
Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complimentary Horsemanship.
So today's tip of the week
is don't go on a cattle drive when it's freezing
cold.
cold.
Exactly. Do not go on a cattle drive when it's freezing cold. No, today's tip of the week is when your horse gets excited, stay calm and help them. So a lot of people think that they need to up their energy to help their horse when they actually need to lower their energy and help them. And how do you help them? It depends on the horse. Some horses you need to slow down, some horses you need to speed up, some horses you need to follow through with, some horses you need to back off because you're giving them too much pressure. But that's where you have to figure that out. But the worst thing you can do is start revving up your RPMs inside you. So don't increase the energy. That's just going to have the horse get a lot more nervous. And that's what happened today when I was teaching. So I had to take the horse, and the horse gave me the same thing that gave the student, except for I kept my energy down and just kept on asking until he went, "Oh, you just want me to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to help you." And then he went, "Okay, I can do that."
It just compounds the problem.
Oh, yes.
Definitely. There's absolutely no doubt.
Just like EMTs or anything like that, I always used to go, "Well, why aren't you running?" And they said, if we run into a situation, we could make it worse. So they have to stay calm even when that's happening.
Yeah, it's got to be one of
Bounce
you,
up.
either you or the horse needs to be down.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And the more stressed you are, and if you maybe don't feel you're exhibiting it necessarily, obviously you'd be surprised how the horse knows, even if you don't think you're showing it. The inside, if you're in a turmoil, and that really applies to even a bad mood, a turmoil, you've got anxiety, you're stressed about something, you may not even...
or you don't believe in your horse, or you don't believe he's going to get it.
Yes.
Well, if you don't believe he's going to get it, he's probably not going to.
You've got to be positive, calm, quiet, and put all your stuff away before you get to the horse, because they know, believe me, they know. They're super smart. If you own a horse, you own at least one dog. I keep wanting to call them hounds. I gotta stop with that.
I like the hounds.
I know. I kept calling the dogs at the cattle drive hounds because I'm just used to hounds, you know. It's like, hold on, switch.
Cattle dogs.
Cattle dogs, yes. I'll be calling the hounds at Misty Morning hounds.
Cattle dogs.
Cattle dogs. I'll get into trouble. Oh my. That's my mess kit, by the way. Here's Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch, because I know you've got a dog if you've got a horse.
The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. Always have a tag on your dog, on their collar or their harness, just in case something happens and you get separated. It's always good to have a microchip and keep the information updated, because God forbid you lose your animal and you need to be able to find them. And you also need to be able to prove that that's your dog. If your dog gets found and is put on a stray hold, they're not going to take your word for it that's your dog. So you're going to need to be able to prove it. And having a microchip or having tags on your dog is the easiest, quickest way to be able to prove that that's your dog. Also, you can get tattoos. If you want to be able to protect your dog and not worry if they get lost, and hopefully they'll find their way home, put identification on your dogs. Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch. Shout out to Neil for very, very kindly looking after my dogs in this dreadfully cold weather that you had while I was away. So they had a good time. They were actually so happy I couldn't slow them down from getting in the truck. And when we pulled in the driveway at Ocala Dog Ranch, Aslan was actually like so excited, making so much noise. I almost wished I had videoed it because he was so excited to get back and see Neil and be at the ranch. So great place to board your dogs while you're away. If you have not read A Land Remembered, please read it.
Patrick D. Smith.
Yes, I'm actually going to read this week, and I will report next week. But I know that this is something that a lot of the cattle drive I was on was based on A Land Remembered, and so I am going to enjoy this book this week and share. I haven't read it for a long time, so it's going to be rereading, but definitely a book you should get and celebrate the old Florida that we hope we can keep.
Had to get me a drink. I was about to have a coughing fit.
Yes, and shout out too to Brad. I rode D-Roy. He lent me D-Roy for the rest of the ride. He was an absolutely fantastic horse. Absolutely knew exactly what he was doing. Push button. It was great. Lovely lope.
I like what you told me, because I've worked cattle off somebody else's horse, and what people don't realize is 9 times out of 10, if you're getting on somebody's string of horses, they know what to do with the cattle.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I also sit there and let him do it.
Right.
He knew exactly what he was doing. I just sat there and enjoyed myself. So great horse, thank you. And check out his podcast, Between the Beaches. I think it's a great podcast. I've asked him if I can be a guest on it, and we've asked him if he'll be a guest here on the show. So check it out. He's a great guy, and very thankful to him for helping me out, and all the crew there that helped me get some amazing interviews and have honestly what was probably one of the top few experiences I've had in my life. So when they have another great Florida cattle drive, you need to get signed up for it, because it is amazing.
And you got Good Apple helped you out, not only for...
Good Apple was amazing. They got me chaps, and I'm telling you, those chaps stopped me from freezing to death.
Who told you to get those?
Yes, you did. And I'm going to tell you, jeans do not suffice in that weather with that wind, but those chaps, they saved me. And shout out also to Jessica from Boot Barn, who lent me her duster, which was waterproof, and I had a nice waterproof duster.
That's the one thing I forgot to tell you.
Yeah. Quick events run through. Banjo the Water Buffalo and Friends is available for rent.
Yay.
Check him out on Instagram at Banjo the Water Buffalo, or give them a text at 352-427-1341. Boarding at the Perry Plantation in actually Micanopy, but the address is Gainesville, but it's really Micanopy. And Misty Morning Hounds is so reasonable, and amazing trails you can ride on, and 530 acres to peruse, and amazing events that they have there that you can get involved in. Don't forget the Furball coming up February 27th. That's on a Friday. Boots, black tie, and best friends to benefit Voice of Change Animal League. The Children's Charity Classic is also coming up. This is the 20th. Second annual, February 20th. This benefits 10 charities in the Ocala-Marion County area, and it's at Horse Shows in the Sun or HITS. Get your tickets.
And it's going to be board games. They're going to dress up as board games.
Yes, they are. Family friendly, incredible experience. New dates for Larson Hayes Customer Appreciation Days, February 20th and 21st.
So if you were planning on getting your significant other a bale of hay for Valentine's Day,
you still can.
You just make it a card and say you'll get it.
You'll get it on the 20th and 21st, and believe me, that's what we want. We just want hay. Love of the Horse for the Foundation of the Horse is Sunday, March 29th. That is at the Florida Horse Park. This is a great day of fun for horse lovers. There's an Ocala 5K, the Polo Classic, and again, this all goes to the Foundation for the Horse, which is a 501c3 and a great one at that. So get involved in that 5K.
March 28th and 29th, the Livestock Pavilion in Ocala, Florida, the Horsemen's Symposium. You're going to have like-minded people talk to you about horses and what they have experienced through their life.
Get your VIP tickets to that. Lots of great presenters. And I've got to get a quick mention in for the fact that the Hunter Pace at Misty Morning Hounds, which was scheduled for last Sunday, has been moved to the next Sunday because it was too cold to have it. And
wasn't too cold to move cattle.
No, it wasn't too cold to move cattle, but it was too cold for a Hunter Pace. So that has actually been scheduled for this coming Sunday. So make sure you're there at Misty Morning Hounds to get at Hunter Pace. Is the most fun that you can have on horseback. It's a good time. Any riders are welcome, all breeds and all disciplines. So make sure you're there on Sunday, and we'll see you then. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world,
or not.
Happy horsing around till the same time next week.
See ya.